Here back on the video, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about the time that I got suspended. So yeah guys, let's get into it. So this all happened 2 years ago, the glory age, 2 years ago, when I was in sixth grade. A lot of stuff happened when I was in 6th grade, and I was like walking home and shizzle, and so I was walking home and like I passed by. Like, I was a bad kid in 6th grade. Now that I look back on it, I was like bad as fuck. And so, so I was walking home from school and shizzle, and so, yeah, I walked past these two guys, and they were like, I was like, yo, what's up? What up? And I asked them, yo, is your like. Alright, so they had a friend near them, and so the friend walked away, and then I walked up to them, and I was like, yo, what's up? And then a few minutes passed. I kept walking with them, and I was like, yo, is your friend Indian? And I was like, and they were like, no. And I kept teasing them and stuff. I was like, is your friend really Indian? And they were like, no. And so alright, so I fought for no reason, and so the kids kept saying that he was not Indian, and so I grabbed onto his sweater, okay, and so I fucking I asked him one more time. I was like, is your friend really Indian? And he was like, no. And so his other friend, he was like, yo, let him go. And I was like, no, until he tells me the truth. and so yeah, his friend was like, no, and I kept holding him by his shirt, by his sweater, sorry, and I didn't let him go, and so I was holding him tight too, so I was like, and so his friend, he was like, yo, let him go, and his friend. In the meantime, well, like, I was still talking to the other kid. His friend, he was he had a drink in his hand, and he was like taking off the lid and shit. And so I didn't even notice. So he took off the lid, and he threw the drink at me. He ran across the street, and I threw the kid that I had in my hands on the floor. Like, I literally pulled him by his sweater, and I swing my hand in a like a fighting motion, and I fucking flicked, I threw him to the floor and shit, and I pushed him on the floor and shit, and I punched him a few times, and it was crazy. I punched him a few times, and he was on the floor, and he was like, yo, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so I was like, fuck off, and I was pissed off at that moment, and I punched the wrong guy, because I wanted to punch the other guy, but I couldn't. He ran fast as fuck. He knew that I was gonna kick his ass, and so I punched him and shit. I punched the kid, and I took his sweater and stuff. I think I took his wallet too. I'm not sure, and so I think I took his sweater and shit. And I think I took his wallet. I think I did. And so I live in an apartment, so I went upstairs and I hid his sweater behind the laundry, I don't know how you call it, a dryer. Yeah, a dryer. I hid his sweater behind the dryer, and he was like, yo, give it before I went to upstairs in the laundry, he was downstairs. He was like, yo, give it to me and shit. I was like, please give it to me. And so I didn't give it to him. And so he looked at me when I was walking to the elevator, cause it's it's a big hallway, and you can see straight into the hallway, the elevator's in that hallway and shit. And so I went into the elevator because I was exhausted, because you know how you when you fight you feel exhausted. And so I felt exhausted and shit, and I hid the sweater behind the fucking the elevator and shit. And so I was like, yo, fuck off and shit. I legitimately put up a middle finger and shit. And so I went upstairs, hid the shit behind this like the dryer and shit, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm not gonna like, nothing is gonna happen to me because, you know, no one knows and shit. And so the next morning I went to school. The fucking principal calls me down, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't say fuck at first. I was like, oh, why are they calling me down and shit. I was like, I was not nervous or anything. But then I went to the principal's office. She was like, I saw the kid. I was like, oh fuck. And that's when I knew I fucked up. And so I saw that kid, right? And so I like the principal was like, what did he do to his sweater? I was like, oh, I don't know what happened to his sweater. And like, I lied to her and stuff. And so his friend they called his friend down, and so he was like, oh, he took his sweater, he beat him up. And no, it was actually the assistant principal, because the fucking principal at that time didn't do shit. So it was the assistant principal. He had to talk to me. He was like, yo, what did he do to his sweater? He was like, I was like, no, I didn't do nothing, I don't know. And so and then he called his friend down, and he was like, oh, he took his sweater. I saw him. And so it was like, he was like, oh, so if I find out who took his sweater, you're gonna get suspended. And so like, and he was like, oh, if you like, and then you're gonna stay in the sack room and shit. And the sack room is like a pretty crazy place. It's like fucking ISS. Like I said this in a few videos now. Oh shit! It's like an ISS room, like in school suspension room. And so it was like, I was like, oh shit. And so I admitted that I took his sweater, and oh shit. And like, and he was like, oh, you have to pay for it. And I was like, fuck off, I'm not gonna pay for that shit. That shit was like Old Navy and shit, fucking Gap and shit. And like, I didn't I was like, get off, fuck out of here, I'm not gonna pay for that shit and shit. And so he called my mom and shit, and my mom was like, why are you like getting him in trouble if this happened after school? And like, we're walking home already. And he was like, the assistant principal said, oh, it was because like, he assaulted a kid like after school, even though like it was like after school, and like, we're walking home, you can't do that if we're walking home, he said. And I was like, what? That makes no sense. It's a fight after school. It has nothing to do. And like, we were a couple blocks like away from school, and that's like, we were like a far distance from school and shit. And he was like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're far away from school. It happened after school when you guys were walking and shit. And I was like, fuck off and shit. And my principal, like my assistant principal, he was like, and he told my mom, he's like, yo, you gotta you know, you gotta pay for it and stuff. And yeah. And so this time the principal called me down, the actual principal, and she was like, I went to the sack room either way. So she called me upstairs, because the sack room is like in the basement. She called me upstairs with the teacher. She was like, yo, come with me. Like, she was aggressive as fuck, and she was like, come with me. And I went with her, and I went to the main office. I saw the principal, and she had to talk with me. She was like pretty like relaxed and stuff, and she had to talk with me. She gave me a card. It was a suspension card, and I couldn't go to school for like a week. I think more than 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks. And it was crazy. That was the first time I got suspended ever. And yeah, so like, I don't talk to them I don't talk to them, those two kids. And that was the first time ever, like, of me ever encountering them. And that was a pretty dumb decision that I ever made in my life. Don't do that, guys, because that would be fucked up. And I did it for no reason as well. So don't do that unless you want to be a dick. Don't do that, guys. So I went negative as fuck. See, this is what I'm telling you guys, that this game is like is hard, and so yeah, guys, don't do that. And so I don't know if my mom did pay for it, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more awesome content on this channel. So yeah, guys, see you guys in the next video. And before I go, I just want to say, leave a like. And I got suspended for 2 weeks, and my mom didn't let me use my phone, like, or anything. But she, like, after like a couple of days, she gave me my Xbox back. Like, not my Xbox, my phone back. I think I had a phone. Like, oh no, my iPad back. She gave me an iPad. She gave me my iPad back, and I used it. Like, I was using it and stuff. And yeah, guys, see you guys in the next video. Remember to leave a like and share to other people. And yeah, guys, peace.